Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Player X here with the Semi-Limited Podcast. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in and showing love, as you guys always do every day, every week, countlessly, day in, day out. Appreciate that. You guys are the best, and we appreciate everyone, no matter how little or big, showing as much love to the podcast and to our progression as possible. So we thank you guys for that. We got a little bit of an episode for you guys. Just want to give you something so that way you have something to listen to over the weekend as you guys are traveling. Maybe it's to YCS Richmond. Maybe you're just going to your locals, or maybe you're just traveling just to get out the house and have a great weekend. So this is just something to listen to, throw on. We're just discussing a couple things, and then we'll actually have a couple things to give to you guys as well. But we'll get into that after we get into all of these advertisements. So without any further ado, please be sure to go down to that Linktree link in the description box below. You can click on that and follow all of our social sites. A tab will pull up with all of our sites on there. You just click every single one of them, including following all of our social media, listening to the podcast on various different distributing sites. However you guys want to get down, be sure to follow and show that love, and we'll be sure to show it back. Speaking of followers and whatever, we finally hit 100 followers on YouTube and Instagram last week. So that means at the end of this episode, we will announce the winner for the YouTube subscriber giveaway that we were hosting on the last episode. So everyone who had liked the video, commented on the video, and was subscribed to the channel, I went through all the comments and I picked a winner. And we will be just revealing who that is at the end of this episode. And if you did not win, it's no big deal. We're going to be doing plenty more giveaways for that. We'll be doing more when we hit 50 followers on TikTok, which will be the new next real big focus. And then we have more giveaways at 100 followers on Twitter X, and then as well as 200 followers on Instagram and YouTube. And we're pretty close to those numbers already, surprisingly. I'm loving it. So thank you guys for showing love and listening to the pod, and also sharing it with your friends, guys. So thank you. The next episode, we will announce the Instagram giveaway, and we are going to tell you guys exactly how to enter it. It'll be on our Instagram, obviously, and we'll be sure to do another one there. So if you guys didn't catch out on the YouTube one, you can be sure to catch out there. Also, while we're doing all these plugs, shout outs to Unplugged Gaming in Manly's, New York for sponsoring the podcast. Be sure to join their Discord server in the description box below. You can always see it right there in that little link. You can click on that and be sure to join their TCG communities down there. No matter what card game you got, they are sure to have a card game community down there for you to join, whether you just want to trade, interact with some people, get some games in, whether it be in-store, online, however you want to get down there, are down with it. If you do, be sure to pop up into their store in Manly's, New York. Be sure to mention the Semi-Limited Podcast, and they'll be sure to hook you guys up. Also, shout outs to Joe. But you guys can also be sure to catch Brad, aka Mr. Perfect, live streaming on Twitch every Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. His Twitch will be in our link tree, the link down below will be right above ours, so you can go down there and click on it. So when we are not streaming on our platform, he will be streaming, and he will be doing things like deck profiles. He's been doing a lot of Master Duel lately. We were talking about how his EDO runs went the other night, and how he actually came back from a deficit against a flu player. So it was really, really cool and interesting. So be sure to go out there. He said he had the most interactions in chat last episode. So appreciate everyone for tuning in, and special shout outs to Kazma Live, who was subscribing to the channel, because he had said if Brad had came back from that deficit that he would subscribe to his Twitch, and he definitely came back and showed him what was what. So shout outs to all of them and all these little things that happen on the Friday night wrap up. So be sure to interact with his stream, which you can catch every Saturday at 11 p.m. right on Twitch. The link's down below. Also, briefly before we get into the episode, just want to thank Team Sakurazo for having me on his live stream with him on Halloween. So yeah, on Halloween night, we were streaming on his YouTube page for his live market watches. So if you guys are into market watches, you're going to be sure to check out Team Sakurazo. He has been on the podcast before. We're definitely going to have him again, because we'd love to have him on when we talk about cards and like the market, probably after this Rarity Collection dies down a little bit more. But shout out to him for having me on there. Be sure to go check out his YouTube page. I'll be sure to link it down below as well. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Talked about him, his page, some cards, GGYGO, all that But getting into tonight's episode, we're just going to be talking about a couple things. Nothing too major, but one of those things I want to talk about is YCS Richmond that's coming up, and what I think might be able to take down the event, and what maybe we should be looking for. This event is going to be in Richmond, Virginia over the weekend, and usually these YCSs are anticipated of about maybe 1,500 to 2,000 people. It's not like the YCSs at like South America, where the last one in Santa Cruz was like 200 people, maybe 300 people, something very, very small. These ones are actually really, really big and tend to get a lot more, I guess, competitive players, I should say, that turn up to show out for these events. But some decks that we probably know are going to be in the room. I mean, we got decks like Pearly. I mean, obviously, Rescue Ace is probably going to be there. Obviously, Tier Elements is going to be highly represented, and they're going to be like probably one of the stronger decks in the room. But we also have some underlying contenders that I think might really shake up the chains, especially with the inclusion of the new sets from Age of Overlord. But I mean, we could probably start looking out for decks like Sprite, like Labyrinth, especially seeing love in that OTS. Branded and any variants that they have, like the Chimera branded, is still really, really strong. Being able to put up a Dragoon or a Negate with Rimbrum and then be able to rip cards out. Even another Chimera version would be with the Runic cards. Like Runic cards, I think got a slap in the wrist last format, and although things have kind of died down for him, I would not be surprised to see more Runic in the format, especially moving forward with how things are shifting up and for more of like mid-range decks. Chimera is able to utilize the ability of getting a monster on the field to normal summon their level 5 to be able to kind of combo off. But the ability to rip cards from the hand and then summoning monsters like Tiger King is crazy to me. I think that that's like a cool little interaction or niche that they have. Decks like Infernoble Knight is still in the format and still doing strong things. They still end on what, double Charles basically with two monster negates. They have the Angel Ring, which is another spell trap negate, a Barone, or if not, they're using Gearfried, the Phoenix. So they definitely have a stacked board when you're going against them as well. And then even our decks like Unchained still have the potential to do a lot, especially with their ability to not only play on their turn and dodge cards such as Imperm or Effect Veiler or any other kind of targeting sort of disruption, but also play on their opponent's turn as well with cards like Yama being able to bring back Rage from the graveyard, linking off into things like IP. Now you got Shavara being able to trigger to help protect things. They put up things like the Caesar, the High King Caesar, which is really, really cool. I think that interaction, that being once per chain or even once per turn, I think is really cool. And then not only that, but their trap cards being able to revive from graveyard and DPE, basically popping a card on their field and on your field, is not to be, I guess, messed with. They definitely have some, I would say, cards up their sleeves, but I would say that the Unchained deck is more than likely going to shake some chains out there, if you know what I mean. But especially with cards like SP Knight being included, allowing them to get a disruption immediately on their opponent's turn, as well as another sitting disruption for the opponent to have to play through. I think that's kind of a little bit strong for them to end on, at least incorporate into the board. But speaking of that, that kind of brushes up into like the next topic. So I think Konami might be nudging players, I think, into a direction that's not so dice roll reliant. For a long period of time, it was kind of shitty to go second, unless your deck specifically requires you to have more cards in hand, or you're playing like an aggro deck and you plan on, killing your opponent in one foul swoop anyway. I think that is very, very bad, I would say, or the I guess the climb is very uphill when you're going second most of the time in these formats. But with the inclusion of SP Little Knight and then cards like Sky Crisis, these decks now have the ability to go second a little bit more, and then not only put up these disruptions to pass to their opponent, but also to break boards themselves. Little Knight being able to banish a card in the grave or on field on summon if you use an extra deck monster, I think is really, really crazy. Sky Crisis being able to floodgate prevent your opponent from activating cards, which I think is different than being able to negate cards or saying that they're at least going to be negated. There's a little bit more interaction or wiggle room there. is like an M pen effect that doesn't allow your opponent to even try to play the cards, which I think is a little bit more impressive, but not to say that I don't like it, but it's a good card. And then being able to bounce a card by detaching, I think is really cool because you can not only special summon it by using one monster, but it has to be the highest attack monster on the field. And I think that you can probably make a nice little XYZ. Doesn't really matter the attack as long as it's the highest one on your side of the field, and then slap a Sky Crisis Typhon over it, and then be able to have multiple bounces over multiple turns, as long as you can keep your opponent from making a 3,000 attack monster to swing over it, which I think is really crazy. It allows these decks to have something going second that they didn't normally have. And then now you talk about that, now you're throwing in cards like Triple Tactics Talent that allows you to not only break boards by taking cards, but it allows you to gain card advantage by drawing too, and then spinning back follow-up by looking at your opponent's hand, seeing what hand traps they have or may not have, or what you have to play through on the follow-up, and then allowing you to take advantage in the game in any way, shape, or form. I think that that's pretty crazy if you look at it from a card perspective. As well as Triple Tactics Thrust, being able to basically pseudo-search any normal spell trap from your deck, like Raigeki, Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, Herald of the Abyss, Change of Heart, Mind Control, Evenly Matched, Karma Cannon, Dimensional Barrier, and like so many more. I think that that's crazy. Like the ability to search out, all right, you've ashed me here, or you've played your negate here, you've activated your Barone, or whatever it is. And then now I get to activate a card like Thrust and be able to search out a crazy card like Talents, a board breaking card like Evenly Matched, maybe a Dimensional Barrier because I was able to play through all of your activations, but now I get to set follow up or prevention on my opponent's turn. Daruma Karma Cannon, being able to Book of Moon and then send all other cards that aren't Book of Moon, I think is a crazy disruption. Like, I think that it's, I would say, a little bit stronger every set, being able to go second, to have these balances of, all right, if you're gonna go first, you can't just put up 5 negates and be good. You have to actually be able to play through the interruptions that might be on the board. Otherwise, you'll put up 4 or 5 negates, maybe a 4 material Appaloosa, a Barone, Burrow Savage, whatever the fuck it is, and then I'm gonna slap a Typhon down and prevent you from activating any of those effects as I rip the board apart with cards like Talents, maybe Thrust, being able to take cards as well as like gain advantage to set maybe floodgates or more things that would give you the player advantage. So I don't know. I do believe that going second is starting to become a little bit stronger from a card perspective, just with the card pool that we have right now being expanded by Konami each and every set. So maybe they might be nudging us in that direction. Maybe I'm just a lone lunatic. Who knows? But that's just my crazy take on the matter. Also, before we close out here for today, I just wanted to talk about the Rarity Collection a little bit and how, I said that this was going to be a hyped up set, but let me tell you that this set is way more hyped up than I ever gave it credit for and than I originally anticipated. The amount of staples being released in this set is like really nice. The spread is very full. The rarity diversity really allows people to have the true essence of the card game, which is just trading. Like, it's a trading card game. It's what the T and TCG stands for. And to complete sets or just turn cards that they open that they, some people may not want or just not so needed cards into something that they might actually use. Like, the amount of trades I've seen, even online as well as IRL, is just crazy for this set. Like, if you pull the CR of this but you don't play this, hey, I'll trade you this collector's rare. All right, cool. You got this collector's rare, but I got this platinum. Oh, well, I'll take the platinum secret of that if you take my ultra. You know what I'm saying? So there was just a crazy amount of people, whether you just want something simple like low rarity like a Barone that you can get for $5 as a super, or even just high rarity cards like Ash Blossom that come in just shinier ways now, like any different way you could possibly want. There really is cards in here for not only the collectors but for the casuals as well as the competitive players, so they hit all the C's right there. And this set is way more of a banger than I thought, and I would probably suggest this would be one of the biggest sets that we're probably going to get this year. So that being said, I'm obviously not a financial advising channel, but I would also suggest people that if you have the extra money and you're able to make an investment every once in a while, or looking to make investments soon, that this would be one of them. If you're actually looking to buy sealed products, I am one of those people who usually says you're better off buying the singles, or was going somewhere and seeing where you can get as far as like not opening product yourself. But this would be one of those ones where I would buy maybe a case or two, sit on it for a little while, maybe give it a few years, and then try to turn a profit later on, because people are going to want to come back to this set with seeing how fun it is to open, how all the cards are very, very shiny, that it's very, very enticing for it. And I just think that this is crazy. I wanted to talk briefly just thinking, because I may have said that this is a hype set, but oh boy was I wrong. This is a fucking hype set for most people. It's crazy. So I think it's up there as one of Konami's prestigious sets, for sure. Maybe up there with like Dual Devastators as far as like reprint set goes. I would say way better than the Maximum Gold reprints for sure. Not to say that the Maximum Gold ones were bad, but they were what they were, which was reprints for cards that we needed at the time. But I would definitely put this as above all the Maximum Golds, maybe even cards or sets like Dual Power or Dual Devastator, and this is definitely up there for sure. But before we close out, and a little bit of upstate news for those listening as well, maybe traveling down to, like I said, the YCS or maybe a regional, be sure that for those who are unaware, Millennium in Rochester, New York is actually hosting an OTS championship. That is a tier 2 event. So you can go there and enter and get your invite. That's basically what it means. That is on November 19th at 11 a.m. You can go down there, sign up. There are pre-registers. You can go there, get your packs, sign up. It's usually an average of about 40 to 60 players there. The store is phenomenal. So definitely prepare accordingly. So be sure to stop out there if you're listening and you're able to. It would be once again in Rochester, New York at Millennium. For those who don't know how it works, there's going to be a basically Swiss rounds with a top 8 cutoff. And then from there, it's basically 4 invites for next year's Nationals, so top 4. And then 1 winner getting a special mat being the... Yeah, so be sure to prepare. I will be stopping out. Most of the semi-limited team will be there. We will be also recording skits, a little bit of content for people out there. So if you see us out there, be sure to get a picture. Be sure to get into some of these videos and just get yourself a part of the community that's been ever growing and that's going to keep trying to take over. But like I said, guys, it's a short episode, so we're starting to run out of life points. Just a reminder, guys, shout outs to the Unplugged Gaming sponsor in Manlius, New York. You can check out their Discord server down below in the description box. Go click on there, be a part of any of the TCGs that you'll be playing, whether it be Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, you can play the Lorcana, whatever the hell it is that you want to play, they got it down there. If you stop in store, be sure to tell them that the boys at Semi-Limited sent you, and Joe will be sure to hook you guys up. Also, once again, catch Brad, aka Mr. Perfect, who will be doing content for the channel, as well as streaming every Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can go catch him out on Twitch, and he will be talking about his deck theories. He will be deck building with you guys, playtesting on Master Duel and EDO Pro, or whatever you guys want him to do. He will be able to do that for you guys. He's very interactive, very chill, and a lot of fun. So be sure to go watch him and check him out, and be sure to get his attention, so that way when he talks to me on our Friday night wrap-ups, you can be mentioned and have your shout out on the podcast as well. Also, be sure to click that Linktree link down below and join all of the social sites. You'll be able to click it. A tab will come up. You'll be able to follow all of the sites that we are available to. We're starting to get more on the memes for Instagram recently, as Felton has came back from his vacation. He's going to be getting back into the flow of things, and then we'll be able to do what we can. So before we close out, though, I wanted to be able to announce our YouTube giveaway winner for this episode. I know last episode we had people like the video, comment on the video, their favorite thing from Rarity Collection, and then make sure that they were subscribed to the channel. We looked at all the comments under that video and selected a random one, and the winner for that YouTube giveaway is XL, which I'm going to just say is Alex, with the X in the front. Underscore 71. So we made sure to make a post out that is going to be up by now at the time of recording. It will be a community post, so by the time you see it, just be sure to reach out to us, or you can follow or reach out to any of our social medias to be able to claim your prize. You are the winner, my friend, of a singular copy of the brand new Sky Crisis Typhon that came out recently in the Age of Overlord set. So congratulations, my man. We wanted to get you in the format and make sure that you had the cards available to do so. So we're going to be sending this out to you. We just need your address, and we'll be able to get this card in your hands for you to be able to use at your locals, maybe the next regional. Who knows? Maybe you might make it to nationals next year, and this card isn't on the ban list, which it probably won't be. But you know, you never know what Konami is, so you'll be able to use that, and then you'll be thinking of us, right? So please be sure to reach out to us to claim your prize. And if you weren't chosen today, don't worry, do not fret. There will be another giveaway, like I said, next week for hitting our Instagram goal. So there will be another chance for you guys all to get in on the action. If you'd like to enter that giveaway, be sure to go to our Instagram. All you have to do is follow the page, which isn't anything big. Like the post, that has giveaway post in the description. It'll be in capitalized letters. You guys will definitely see it. And just be sure to comment one thing on the post that you enjoy about the Semi-Limited podcast, whether it be the content that we talk about, the live things or skits that we like to do. Hey, maybe it just might be the giveaways that we like to have for you guys. Just anything that you guys enjoy about the Semi-Limited podcast community or anything, you're to comment down on that on the Instagram post, and we'll be sure to get you entered so that way you guys can get yet another random prize from the podcast, guys. So winner will be picked and revealed in one of next week's episodes. I'm going to say we'll probably do it on another Friday episode to give you guys a full week to go out and accomplish this goal. And give everyone a chance to get entered for this giveaway. So without any further ado, guys, we are all out of life points. Just want to thank you guys all for listening to today's episode. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Anyone going to YCS Richmond, we wish you good luck. And shout out to the podcast sponsored duelists, Albert Park, Brendan Agnon, and Ryan App, who will be down there. If you see them in their new hoodie and sponsored unplugged gaming gear, be sure to go down there and interact with them, get a picture, say hello, and thank Albert for being the flu god of course of all that. So good luck to everyone going down there. I am Player X, and this has been the Semi-Limited podcast. Thank you and good night.